Hiya, welcome to Electric Vehicle News this week. A couple of wee things to go through today. We'll probably talk about the new Ford Mach-E, which I went to see in London. I'll run you through that in a couple of minutes. You'll get some video footage as well, courtesy of Nick Ramo, EV Nick, if you haven't followed him already on YouTube. We'll talk a little bit about DAS as well, something which a lot of people maybe haven't spoken, or the fuel station providers in Norway are looking at what they're going to do with petrol stations when they don't need them anymore. So like 52% of all cars now in Norway that you buy are electric. So a lot of the chains that supply food and drink and beverages and whatnot in the fuel stations are getting worried, so they've run a report to see how they can make that work, which shows a changing of the guard, changing the times. It should be cool. I'll keep a wee eye on that and let you know what happens. It's got a super secret email from Lotus, it's not that secret at all, where they announced that the Avia has gone into production, which is their absolutely ludicrous electric car, a hypercar of astronomical proportions. It's going to be super quick, it's going to be super expensive as well. First customers get that car in the summer, so you've got one on order. Look forward to seeing it in the summer. Tesla, some weird Tesla news came out that some people broke the software down, some coders, and they found some mention to being able to turn the battery on and off in the car semi in both directions, so that possibly could hint at it's an SUV. It's what you'd expect. It's going to be amazing at the school run. It's going to go up against Model Y, maybe B in the UK a little bit quicker. Tremendous amount of space. It's going to be as normal to live with as a normal Ford SUV, like what's that called now? The Explorer? And then some other cars in that segment, things like the X-Trail, the Qashqai, the Kadjar, that kind of thing, the Capture. The Kadjar's the bigger one. And that should be an interesting little thing on the school run. Very Mustangy, felt very like a Mustang when you sat inside. I've driven V8 Mustang, so but sadly didn't get to drive it, didn't get to see how it felt. I didn't see any of the dash on really, so don't know how that will go. And then finally this week, we're going to talk about Formula One, because if you didn't know, Mercedes released something in Formula One, or showed something in testing called DAS, which stands for Dual Axis Steer. And what is incredibly clever about this little piece of gadgetry is that it changes the wheel alignment, so it changes the way the wheels are pointing as the car's driving on the road, not a steering wheel, so it does both wheels at the same time. And I can hear you going, Charlie, why are we talking about Formula One when we're talking about electric cars? Well, why Mercedes do this is because on the straights they want the car to go as fast as possible in a straight line, so they need less resistance, so they need the wheels to be as efficient as possible, actually try and take away grip. They want grip away from the wheels to get the car going as fast as possible. And then in the corners they want the tyres to work as hard as they can, so if you point the tyres in towards the car, you tend to get a front end that will pull into the corner a little bit better. So what the steering wheel does is, when the car accelerates, the driver pulls back on the steering wheel. So as the car accelerates, he pulls back, and the steering wheel moves, and it brings both wheels parallel to one another. And then as he's braking, he pushes the wheel away from him. Very easy when you're braking, and it brings the two wheels in towards each other. Why is this important in an EV? Well, if you could do that on your car while you're driving, we would see range grow. So we would see range get bigger. and it'd be really cool. You could have a little button that says Sport, or a little button that says B Road, A Road, and a little button that says Motorway, and the car's alignment will change, not just suspension height, but car's alignment. Why is it important that Mercedes have done it? Two things. First up, it's cheap enough. I don't mean money, but weight, efficiency wise. They've seen the sense in doing it only for 1 year, so that means that it could potentially be on our cars much quicker than we anticipate. I think 3 or 4 years we could see something like that, so that's really cool. And finally, if you haven't seen it, go and check out Chris Harris driving the new the 2-year-old electric hill climb car from VW, the IDR, and that'll be on YouTube. Alright guys, thank you so much. Not any news to share about America just yet, because I need to sign some things and get that all sorted, and then we'll be good. Probably hear about that next week. Thank you so much.